Gentlemen and ladies, it is time. Just getting these food plots ready. Just got off this nice Ford tractor here. Got the fertilizer spreader. And now we're about to hop on this nice tractor over here. And we're about to pack this onto the ground. This is just one of 5 food plots here. Take a quick look at it. Hoping to grow some big bucks. Some nice bull elk out here in Kansas, so see what happens. It's a beautiful day, calm before the storm, getting ready for the season. So here's a little gander of the food plot. This one was actually broken, and we got a new head getting put on that, and I think tomorrow actually. So that will be pumping water instead of having a manual fill it up. That'll be amazing. Get a lot more animals out here earlier on and used to the water. But yeah, I'm about to hop in this bougie tractor. Got AC in it, and then pack all this fertilizer in. And then after we plant, I think how it works is like, I guess the big bucks just start popping out of the ground, and the bull elk, and hopefully we can get one. A big cedar right here is actually where I shot my buck last year. Cut to the clip of that buck. No more dilly-dallying. We're ready. The AC blowing. We're just trucking along.
Some call the women and some will steal the Bible for the same mind.
All right, gents, it is 6:15 in the morning. This is gonna be my first sit of the year. It's September 28th. Plans got changed for this hunting season. So land that I hunt actually sold. So I have until November 1st to hunt this. So all of October, and then obviously these last few days of September. Your boy over here has an elk tag and a whitetail tag that I'm really trying to fill, especially the elk tag. I would love to just get a Kansas bull before this property's gone. It'd just be super cool to do. So I'm gonna get sprayed down and then, you know, walk in. Got about a mile walk, I think. So let's get to it. So I'm in this blind right here. And those elk are bugling just right off in the distance past those trees. A good ways that way. Started off over here, and they're more over here now. I don't know if there's a couple groups or a couple bulls over there, but I've been hearing them all morning. These bulls have been screaming. They've been bugling all morning since like 6:45. It's now 9:10. They've been off in the distance. I wish they would come a little closer, but hopefully at some point, fingers crossed. Well, boys, way to change the schedule. So we are headed out. It's 3 o'clock right now. It's like 80, 85 and sunny. It feels super hot. So everything's gonna be bedded down until, you know, an hour before sunset anyways. So not too big of a deal, but heading out for the day. But I will say, look at this rye popping up. You saw that field work we were putting in. Got a little bit of rain the past couple weeks. It's looking good. Well, boys, driving to our spot and got stopped by a train, so that's a little unfortunate, but finally got all the work done out of the property, so now it's just time to hunt. So I should be out pretty much every day. We're gonna go out, sit in a ladder stand this morning, and got some target bucks. You know, we got some bucks showing up on camera, so I'll probably pop those up on screen, but I'm gonna get out there and see if I can see anything this morning. west of me. I'm really hoping they eventually make their way over to me, but so you guys saw that medium 10 point that just came by. It's a decent buck, but I have some others that have been on camera that I'm looking for, so there's a pretty good 8 point. He's just kind of a weird buck, but quite a bit bigger and just really tall, just super tall. But there's maybe a couple bucks that are better on camera, and then who knows what hasn't been on camera yet. So we'll let that guy go for now. Hopefully we get that bigger 8 point that comes by. Made it back to the truck, just parked in the shade, gonna relax for a little while, get some food and water in us. Saw the 3 bucks, the 1 spike before shooting light, and then that smaller 10 point, and then that 8 point as well. Both younger deer, not my target deer necessarily. Both of those have been on camera quite a bit in that area, especially the second one, the 8 point. He probably lives right around there. He's been on camera basically every day. So I'm gonna head over to a different plot this evening where the elk showed up at this morning at like 7:30. There's quite a bit of cows on camera, so had to have been a bull somewhere. But I'm gonna head over this evening and hope for them to come back. As far as whitetail goes, probably, I don't know, one of the top 2 deer that I was kind of looking at on camera at least. He stays on that same food plot that we've seen him a couple of times. So could be a chance to get him tonight. We'll just have to see what happens. I'm gonna just cool off, spray my clothes down, and head back out in a few hours. So let's get it. That's where the elk were earlier this morning at 7:30. They're right by that water tank. Just got a bull elk. It's a little spiky. But we got one.
If you could see him now, you'd be proud. Though you think these yuppies, your funeral was beautiful. I bet God heard you coming. The kids are in town for a funeral, and the grass all smells the same as the day you broke your arm swinging on that kid out on the river. You bailed him out, never said a thing about Jesus or the way he's living. If you could see him now, you'd be proud, but you think days yuppie. Your funeral was beautiful.
Alrighty, gents, headed back out the next day. It is 3:14 p.m. Hoping to be in the blind by 4. That'll give me till 7:40ish before it's completely dark. But yeah, we saw that bull yesterday. That was pretty exciting. He came across the field, just a spike, but it was really cool to see. Hadn't seen a bull out there before. And then this morning, we got pictures of the herd bull, at least one of them, and I'll pop that up. That's the bull I'm after now. So I'm hoping they're going to be in the area tonight. Haven't got them in the evening time yet in the spot, but they've been showing up in the morning. If I would have went out this morning anyways, I wasn't able to, but if I did, I would have spooked them all off the field. They were there well before like 5, and I probably would have gotten there, just after that. So, but either way, I headed out. I'm hoping to either get a nice whitetail to show up, or that bull it'd just be crazy. We'll see what we get into tonight. It's now the next day, and just got to the spot, and we're gonna go walk in. We're a little late. It's already 4:25. Nothing's probably moving for, I don't know, for a little while, but I'm gonna hurry in and get set up in a new spot. I'm gonna be way up in a cedar tree stand. So new spot. Haven't been there this season, so we'll see how it goes. That was one of the same bucks from the other morning. He lives around here, so he just got some food and then walked away. Made it back to the truck, eating a little bit of lunch. Just sat out this morning, as you saw. Had I think 2 does and that one buck come by. That buck is the same one that showed up the other day. He lives right around there. I'm pretty sure he's there every single day. But we're gonna go sit a new spot today over on a different plot. I haven't been over there. We have a camera over there. I have a couple bucks showing up, but nothing too crazy. That's where I shot my buck last year, so one can only hope. Let's go get a monster tonight. I don't even know what to say about that. We had that same 8-point come in that we've seen multiple times. And then I thought I wasn't going to see anything the whole night. And then after that, I don't know how many more deer, 5, 6, 7, at least 6 came in out of nowhere. I've never even seen most of them on camera. They were all smaller than the 8-point, so nothing too notable. Just a lot of bucks that were younger, unfortunately. I was not expecting that. Another thing, getting out of that tree stand, not very happy. It was pitch black when I was getting out of this stand, and I didn't hear any deer anywhere near. I figured they were all in the field. I was gonna try to be quiet and escape, and then ended up blowing 2 of them out in different directions, so hopefully it doesn't stir things up too much. But it is a new day, gentlemen. We're going out to hunt. It is October 10th at 4:26 p.m. I think. I'm gonna go sit the same spot I did last evening where all those bucks came through. We actually just had this buck, I'm gonna put it up on the screen, show up real early this morning. Hadn't seen him before, and he's probably, you know, the best buck we've seen out there now, so he's a pretty solid deer. I'm gonna hope he comes by this evening, but I'm gonna go sit that same spot and we'll see what we get into tonight. It is now the next day, 6:09 in the morning. Sunrise is at 7:39. That bobcat last evening, that was pretty cool. Glad we saw that one. Just got a text from my dad saying tons of pics on the old mill, so that's amazing. That's where I'm going. So that means I'm just gonna spook everything out. So I'm gonna try to stealthily sneak in and probably be unsuccessful because it's gonna be difficult, but I'm gonna try. Just finished up with that morning sit, go back to the car. Didn't see too much. Most of the action was just, you know, before shooting light, that bigger buck and then a smaller buck were both in right by the stand, and I'm trying to sneak in there at the same time. So I'm just going super slow, just creeping in there. And I got there maybe 10 minutes after they had already walked out into the field, which is fine because then it gave me the opportunity to get in the stand. But then they just never circled back around. So they probably just went off and bedded somewhere for the day. Now it's getting warmer, so wish that bigger buck would have came back around, but it is what it is. It just seems like they're all showing before shooting light. That buck did show up 2 nights ago at like 7 p.m. at one other spot close by. It's just cat and mouse at this point. We just made it out here, and we're gonna go set the Catalpa Grove, which I believe is the first spot that I set this season. And I saw this buck, this 10-point right here, And then I saw this 8-point, which has been around all throughout here. So I sat that in the morning. So we're gonna sit the evening, obviously, today. See how it goes. Hopefully. It is October 13th at 4:45 p.m. We're just getting ready to go over to the stand. It's across from one we've been to, but I'm taking the old bike today because it's a ways away and I gotta check out windmill to see if it's working. So we're gonna head out and go do that. That's the tree stand I was at the other day. I didn't see too much, but the wind isn't great, so this is one of the few spots I can be at. So we'll see what happens tonight. All right, it is October 14th, 4:30 p.m. Just getting out here a little later than I wanted to, but had some stuff to do. We're gonna go sit at the Catalpa stand again. Had some decent luck there, a lot better than the pipeline I'd been sitting where I've only seen some does. We're gonna go sit this and see what happens this evening. It's October 15th, 3:45 p.m. Just getting out here. We are gonna go sit pretty close to that catalpa stand we were at last night. We set up a new stand with a different wind to hunt, so got a northeast wind today. It's not ideal for a lot of stuff out here, so we put that one up. So we're gonna go sit that. It's kind of catty corner from where I was at, so let's go try this evening out. There's that same 8-point that always showed up.
Last night you were looking so bright, I don't wanna mess up. You were ready dressed up. What I want, hold your hands in the hands, put you on this too and say goodbye.
All right, boys, we've had a rough start to the day. I tweaked my back this morning, like pinched a nerve or something, so it's been brutal. I'm going to be going out this evening at a different spot where this same buck has shown up multiple times. It's kind of disgusting at this point because yesterday also, at 6:33 p.m., I'm sitting at that Catalpa Grove stand, that new one, and over on the mill, the old mill that I'm going to tonight, this buck showed up. I'll put it up on the screen right here, and it's definitely a shooter, so he's the same one I was sneaking up on the other morning, but basically he was there at 6:30 when I was on a different stand, so he was just out there just on a different spot, which is pretty upsetting, but what can you do? It's cat and mouse. I mean, the window wasn't right, so I couldn't sit over there, but we're sitting there tonight, so we'll see what happens. Back's not in good shape, but we're going to do what we can. that bigger one came in. He went over this way. I think he might just be standing there. I'm not sure. It's really hard to tell. But I just shot that bigger buck. Oh my goodness. Whew, my heart is pounding.
So clean the house, clear the drawers, mop the floors, stand tall like no one's ever been here before or at all. And don't you mention all the inches that are scraped on the door frame.
I don't even know what to say at this point. Started off with that fork coming in, a little fork buck, and then a few minutes later, a decent 8 or 10 point shows up, and a minute or two after, it was pretty quick. That deer I had been kind of chasing off and on for, a week or so, shows up and spooks that buck off. So he shows up, my heart's racing at that point. I'm just trying to stay calm and get a shot off. I think I ended up hitting a little bit to the right, maybe a little low, but just not an amazing shot most likely. I mean, my headspace right now is just terrible. I mean, on the way out, I ended up spooking a few deer that I didn't see. I didn't see anything. And then once I get down, of course, there's deer all around. So hopefully they didn't spook him farther if, he bedded down or something. I'm not sure. Nothing good is going on in this head right now, but pretty sucky hunting moment right now. The plan is to go out tomorrow morning and go see what we can find. So next morning, head out to look for the buck. Feeling a little better about the shot since yesterday. It was just, mind was not in a good place, but I had trail cam picture of pretty sure where the blood was coming out of, which is, real close to the shoulder. So see what happens. We got lots of blood right there. And I just happened to look over here. We got a shed. What in the world? I am back home now. Last night, shot the buck. After finding it today, did find out I hit liver, partial gut shot, and then exited through a little bit of lung. So not the best shot ever. Got the job done. Anyone watching this video other than me in the future probably thinks it sucks because I didn't, film the shot or even finding the buck. It was more of a time thing, trying to find it, and then we're just trying to gut it and get it to the butcher as soon as possible, just to make sure the meat's good and everything. We followed the blood trail 100 yards into some tall grass. It had been in tall grass for maybe 50 or so yards before. We ended up losing it, and I don't even really know how to explain this, but my dad ended up finding it. We had 2 guys and then myself out there. My dad ended up finding it after about an hour and a half, 2 hours, probably a 2-hour search. It was 304 yards in a straight line from where I shot it to where he died at. So many mistakes were made throughout this, just learning from this, but I exited the tree stand in the wrong spot, which I kind of knew I did, but I just didn't want to spook the deer in the field. I just wasn't thinking properly. So I ended up going the wrong way. I probably spooked that deer farther. He probably would have bedded down in the grass, but I'll throw up a little map right here so you can kind of see what was going on. But he ended up going 300 plus yards in a straight line. It was just insane that my dad found this buck. Like, I cannot believe we found it based off of where he was. I'm probably, super close to never finding that buck, but super glad I did. Got it taken care of, got it taken to the butcher right away. It was a great time. We got we got it done. Plan on doing it a little cleaner next time. I'm having until November 1st, so I'm gonna hunt all through October, and I'm gonna be after elk now. Hopefully we can get this Kansas bull. That would be an insane dream. Let's get after it. Just pulling up to the property right now. It's the evening of the 19th. Going out just for elk now. Got the deer out of the way. Super thankful for that buck. Super happy with that. So really, really special experience and moments out here, but got that done. And we're gonna go sit in a ground blind on the plot where the elk have always been and have been showing up recently. It's pretty sickening because they were out there this morning. They came in after shooting light. They probably showed up around like 8 a.m. And I would have had such an easy shot on this big bull, like the herd bull that came in. Plenty of cows in that bigger herd bull. So that'd been really cool, but I was not out this morning. Got all these turkeys. Little armadillo tried to sneak up on me and eat me, but I wasn't gonna let him. Got back to the truck, took a little lunch break, left the stand or the blind at 11:30. I didn't even see any animals past like 9:45. I'm gonna go grab that shed that I found the other day when I was looking for my buck. I left that out here, as well as the arrow that I shot my buck with. It's a skinwalker. I know it's a skinwalker. It's not an owl. This is so frustrating. All of the elk were here before shooting light, so I got here also before shooting light, and I saw 3 or 4 elk in the corner, and they were all just leaving, so most of them had probably already gone, and they were just standing there and slowly walked off. There was nothing I could do, so I tried getting around them in the forest, but it just was not going to work. They were already gone, and very frustrating, so I'm basically sitting in this ground blind for no reason at this point, because there's no shot they come back this morning. I'll probably be here for an hour or so, and then I'll leave and come back this evening, but super frustrating. So I sat there for about an hour longer. Didn't see anything. The elk were not coming back. I didn't think they were, but I was just gonna check just to make sure. They're definitely going down to bed, so we'll be out this evening and hope they come back. Back out here, about to go whip over to this ground blind. I was out here last night and walking back to the truck. The elk were like 50 yards from the truck, so they weren't out on the field. They were just like over where I parked, which is a ways away. So that was just absolutely amazing. Scaring those, kind of spooked those north off the property. They'll definitely be back. It's just a matter of when. is out here again. We've got a decent wind, so I'm hoping they're gonna come back. I'm gonna give it about 1 hour before all the turkeys come through. Just like clockwork, they'll be here. It was just over an hour before they showed up, but like I said, it's clockwork. Every morning and every night, they're right here. I've got maybe 6 or 7 deer out in the field, but no elk. It's another skinwalker. We got another skinwalker. Look at him. He thinks he's fooling me. Had some elk bugling that I could hear from the ground blind that I was in. And it was south of me, and they weren't gonna come up north where I was from the wind. They're probably going to bed down right now, but I was trying to find out exactly where they were, so I was following that. And I'm at the property border now, and I still hear them south when they're bugling, so pretty unfortunate. We're going back out once again for another evening. Pretty discouraged at this point because it's really just a luck game. I mean, if they're on the property like you saw the other morning, I can kind of go and spot and stalk, but I mean, most of the time they're not on the property, and if they are, they're usually in the area I'm going to right now and have been on this, near this food plot at least. But I have today's the 27th, so I got the 28th, 29th, 30, 31st, so I got 4 full days left to hunt, so that's basically 8 sits until I'm not able to hunt anymore. So basically got 4 days to get lucky enough to have some elk come by to get a shot. Hopes are not too high, but you know, we're out here because what else am I gonna do? Always watch for deer in the road, kids. It is pouring, boys. Gee, got a little bit of a tornado warning going on, but we got 1.5 days to hunt, so we're getting after it. Just got through that real thick rain portion. I'm headed back out for this evening. It's 3:07. Should be in the blind by 3:30 for sure. Pretty crazy stuff though this morning. I mean, it just seems like I'm out of reach. It's just right there, but I just can't get it done. I mean, I got in to the field at, I don't know, 30 minutes before sunrise or so. I'm walking up to the blind. I'm behind the cedar, and I look, and I thought I saw a pretty big figure. I'm like, I think that's an elk. I couldn't tell. Got the binos out, looked at it, and it was a cow, I believe. And then right after that, that big bull, stepped right in view. Then he was just standing right at the edge of the field for a minute and a half maybe, just kind of looking around, and super cool to see. I got that footage of it. Not super great footage, just because, like I said, it was 25 minutes before sunrise. Even my phone makes it look a little brighter than it was in person, but super cool to see that. It just sucks because he immediately kind of turns around and trots off to the rest of the herd. And I mean, it's just, they were there earlier before shooting light during the night, early morning, eating and getting food and water. And then as the sun comes out, I mean, it was pretty cloudy overcast today, but as it gets brighter, they head off in bed, and so right at shooting light, they're pretty much out of there, which is really unfortunate. You also saw in that video, I went down the path that they were on, and you could see all the elk poop on that mowed path. And then also when I went back to the field to grab my stuff and head out, there's elk poop all over by the water. So they were there early and headed out west over there where I was following them. And I was trying to figure out where they're going down to bed. Knowing now, I should have taken a different route. But I eventually went on the highest point on the property, just a hill, where Kansas is pretty flat. But a little glassing point, didn't see him, didn't see anything. I thought I heard a cow call pretty close to me, and I was kind of exploring that area. But I didn't want to, spook him and push him out farther or anything. So after a minute, I kind of headed back and, dipped on out of there, went home. And now I'm coming back out, so. We got this evening, and we have tomorrow, and then the land sells, so really unfortunate, but see what we can get into. Last night was pretty cool. We saw that calf elk. Man, it was like 3 times the size of that spike buck. It was just funny seeing that. But came into about 40 yards, but I didn't even have a good shot on it anyways, but I wasn't going to shoot it no matter what. It was cool to see though. It's like 3:15 now, and it's the last evening, and the land sells tomorrow. So last hunt, see how it goes.
Rod girl whiskey's gonna ease my mind. Beach towel dress on the drying line. Do I remind you of your daddy in his 88 Ford? Labrador hanging out the passenger door. The sand from your hair is blowing in my eyes. Blame it on the beach, grown men don't cry. Do you remember that beat down basement couch? I'd sing you my love songs and you'd tell me about how your mama ran off and pawned her ring. I remember